Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle FtW and welcome back to another episode of my Death Stranding 2 playthrough. This is episode number 7, and in the last episode, we learned a little bit about Tarman's backstory, as well as continued on with the current episode that we're on, and we're going to be picking up right where we left off at the end of that last episode. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this next part, and I'll see you guys all in the game. Alright guys, here we are. So at the end of the last episode, I said I was going to, or during the last episodes, I said I was going to read some of the story stuff so that I can catch you guys up. And in the last play session we did, these events were about 2 episodes ago, but it said immediately before arriving in West Fort Knott, Higgs appeared in front of Sam, taunting him by saying, "You don't know a thing about Lou." Higgs summons a giant mech, which Sam defeats. Sam restores the monorail and uses it to transport a large volume of materials from the mine north of F1. And we'll be picking up right where we left off. Have we? Yep. I remember in the last episode we basically did everything.
I've known Tarman for quite a while now, but that was the first time I've heard him speak about his son in that fashion. It made me wish that I could do something, anything to ease his burden. But setting aside those feelings, suppose that cat of his is in fact his son reborn. Why does it treat me as though I'm a threat? Does it just hate me? Reincarnation or not, perhaps it's still a cat at heart. That looks wonderful. There are organisms in this area that I don't believe I've ever laid eyes on before. My understanding is that they're called chiral creatures, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Apparently, they will drain your batteries if you come into contact with them. There may be other deleterious effects for all we know. And really, you shouldn't be bothering them anyway. There's nothing to be gained from it. It's not like they drop coins when defeated.
I love that. I love that this game always talks about other game references. Like Higgs in one of the previous episodes saying, "A good old-fashioned boss fight."
The extraction was successful. It was transferred to a sterilized pod and sent to a separate facility.
Ready to proceed with corpse disposal? 1.
Okay, take a main order at the F1 terminal. And I think that is the ship that's next door.
Feels...
Or the town that's next door, I should say. Let me just go ahead and put my hat on real quick. Okay. No, it looks like I have a lot of stuff on my character right now. Let's go ahead and look at. That's not fabricate equipment. Let me look at my. Okay, that's weird. I guess I got to do it this way. Got a shotgun. I've got a floating carrier. Got 3 climbing anchors. I've got 2 sets of smoke grenades. I've got a ladder. Okay, I do have a lot of stuff. But that's okay. We're not like having any issues as far as our carrying capacity, so we're all fine. Oh, hey, there's the porters.
Thank you, Sam.
Alright, let's see what they need help with.
Sam, your next destination is the Northern Environmental Observatory. Like its western counterpart, this observatory is a critical facility that will help us to monitor the changes taking place in the Australian environment. To bring it online, you'll have to navigate the canyon to the northeast of your current position. But before that, you'll need to link up another site en route.
Sam, the next site we want you to link up is called Rainbow Valley. A friend of Drawbridge is waiting for you there. Once the network connection has been established, they'll be joining us on the DHV Magellan. I recruited them myself when we first met in the UCA. You can pick up the order from the delivery terminal. I'm looking forward to seeing you both. Thanks again, Sam.
Okay. Deliver all terraforming equipment to Rainbow Valley. Holy cow. 120 pounds. Wow, that's quite a bit. Oh, but that's not that far though. So we could probably use a vehicle, or we could probably use a mobile carrier to make that really, really easy. Okay, there is a river there. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there's just a little river here. And then we will do that. There we go. Okay. I'll just put all this on my back for now. Oh, wow. Well, that's super, super nice. Okay, we have some APAS attachments here. And we have 105 memory. So we've got emergency vehicle charger. Allows Sam's battery to supply power to vehicles which have fully depleted their charge. Press L3. Pardon me. To supply it with power. It is extremely inefficient and designed only for use in emergencies. Swift Mule postbox hacking. Weather. Oh, yeah, let's do that one. We also have a couple of these up here. What's this one? Adds a mode to the Ordex terrain scanner, which reduces its overall detection area in order to increase the range. This enhancement was developed in order to allow porters to respond to a wider range of situations in the field. That one could be good. Strand contract cap boost. Strand contracts. Okay. What's this one? Oh, I want to do that one too. Okay, that's all we can do for now. Let's go ahead and get our vehicle out. If we can. Whoops. Yeah, see, we got one of these in the last episode. Okay, you can now fabricate custom components and fit them to your vehicles. Oh, nice. A battery unit level 1. What if we put multiple of these on here? Would that make the battery even longer? Maybe. And then, of course, we have to change the color. Of course. To the best aesthetic ever. Black and red. Well, now hold on. There's more we could do. Change decals? Oh, nice. Porter. Can we do one on the other side? Oh, no. Okay. I like the Magellan. Cool. Alright. We're good.
Vehicle ready. Please drive carefully. Order accepted. Thank you.
Now all of my cargo should be in there, right? Yeah. Wait, we can drift? That's kind of cool. Now, the only negative thing about vehicles in this game is, of course, if you get into a BT area, they become pretty, I mean, you can still use them, but they do become pretty... Okay, how deep is this river? It's very deep. But we should actually be able to go... We should actually be able to go through it. We couldn't do this with a bike. But with a car, we definitely can. Okay, are we going the opposite way of our route that we drew? Yeah. Yep. Okay, so here's what we... We're gonna get into a BT area here in a minute.
Have you noticed it, Sam? There's a BT nearby.
Okay. So that means, again, as I said, our vehicle fun is over. I'll say that that's the only negative thing to vehicles in the game is, of course, BT areas. You know, if you want to drive through a BT area, good luck. Again, in the first game, I drove through a very fair share of BT areas, and okay, that guy should be... Yep, okay, it takes 3 grenades. Okay. Better be careful. Yeah, I'm not sure that I understand the BTs in this game as much as I do in the other one, because they said that they were like, you know, they keep an eye out on you. And it's like, but we've kind of been caught by them, I guess, and they haven't come after us or anything. Which is kind of interesting. I think we're actually doing pretty good here. Seems like they're all over to our right, which means that we don't have to necessarily worry about them too much. We might even be able to sprint. until we see him. Until we see our sensor turn it to the left. Alright, looks like we're out of the BT area. I guess we technically could have rode our vehicle over here, but that's okay. I do kind of get hesitant to use vehicles in this game because
It's a close one.
whenever I want to drive in these games, usually we run into a BT area and it's like, okay, that wasn't necessarily super worth it. Now, I will say, though, that at least in the first game, at the very end of it, you had to go from, once you completed the entire nation, you had to ride all the way back to the beginning of the game. That was nice to have a vehicle. That's not really a spoiler or anything, because that doesn't, say anything story-wise that happened, but yeah, that was, I definitely used vehicles for that one. Wow, this is a cool looking area. This might be one of my favorite locations so far in the game. Rainbow Valley. "16 inhabitants.
Good morning to you. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Access.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. Are you Sam? Then does this mean the drawbridge has finally come to the valley? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you could make it. It's an honor to welcome you here.
Let's go S tier.
Cargo is in tip-top shape. You are a consummate professional.
Nice. Complete episode 3 drawbridge. Again, I know that those are really loud. I'll explain it after we get through through this dialogue.
We'll be hoping to see more of you in the future. The next step involves the Cupid, yeah? Okay then, let's do this.
Beautiful. Okay, so that looks like our next big area is a little bit up and to the right. Okay. A tar cannon. A device primarily used to distinguish fires by dousing them with a jet of decontaminated tar, by which it can also knock humans unconscious and suppress smaller enemies. Deploy the cannon to fix it to the ground and replenish its tar supply, but be warned that the tar it expels has a restorative effect on catchers. So obviously you can't use it on BTs. Okay. That's awesome.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Ooh. Prevents cargo from scattering when you fall over. Ooh, I like that. That's really good. Okay. Expert mover.
The connection looks strong and steady to me. That cargo you brought along is going to make a world of difference, too. It'll allow us to proceed with our terraforming initiative. Hopefully, no more towns will have to suffer the fate of the one down below us. Oh, we've shared our tar cannon data with everyone, by the way. I suspect you'll find it useful in your own work. Try it out. See if it suits your needs. You probably passed the town I mentioned on your way up here. At a glance, it might have looked like nothing more than a cluster of massive boulders. But those were once buildings. Places where people used to live. As the desert kept creeping closer, the town was abandoned overnight. They'd been forced to evacuate. The few who were left behind became BTs. Still, at least the exodus went to plan. There are no void-outs at any rate. This region was once filled with lush vegetation, over which birds soared and serenaded, until all that beautiful life fell prey to sudden desertification. We swore to do everything in our power to bring back what was lost. Around the time we got started, the APAC people showed up. With their help, we've been able to achieve a modest measure of success. But moving forward, we have to find a way to nurture and protect what little we have on our own. Tar cannons are invaluable pieces of equipment that we use to combat forest fires. Now, while fires are a common occurrence in this region, water is a precious resource. So these cannons were developed as extinguishers that utilize the tar contained within the earth itself. They leverage the tar's viscosity, making them one of the most effective methods of combating fire we have. When deployed on the ground, they can both extract and discharge tar simultaneously. You can pick up the cannon and use it on the go as well, but you'll be unable to refill its tar reservoir while doing so. If you find yourself caught in a wildfire, you'll need to figure out when to shoot and when to move in order to make it out alive. Thanks for everything, Sam. You and Drawbridge have helped ensure that these lands will one day be filled with life again, however long it takes. In particular, that comrade of yours has performed absolute miracles for us. If you're looking to link up with them, you'll find them in the ravine on the other side of the river, directly opposite this shelter. Come back and visit anytime.
Right. Time to meet up with our comrade.
Okay.
They should be around here somewhere.
So, I guess we are gonna encounter forest fires at some point. That's a little scary, for sure, but it'll be fine. I'm just kind of curious how much that thing weighs. I want to like this bridge. It's not letting me. Okay. Oops. Accidentally went to photo mode. Oh, there we go. That worked. Yeah, I hope that turret doesn't weigh too much.
To fit those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my the rain by complaining because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
I think I spooked her.
I really couldn't say. I certainly haven't ever seen her dance like that before.
It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me.
Wow.
Go on, Sam. Follow her into that facility.
That's a crazy power. She can reverse time fall? I wonder how she got that power. Because she saved that bird. Interesting. Guess we're going to find out.
Thanks for coming, Sam. I'm sorry about just now. I didn't know who you were at first.
You're the picture of health, Rainey.
You too, little man.
You got some kind of a trick for dealing with time fall?
Rainey, it's been too long.
Fragile.
Can't wait to see you again.
What are we waiting for, Sam? Let's head to the DHV Magellan. Fragile. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet the old-fashioned way. Carograms are great, but nothing beats a hug. Well, I'm sure you already know. This is Rainey. She's a good friend of the cause.
It really is a pleasure to meet you, Sam.
Nice to meet you too.
Glad to see you in good health.
And it's so good to see you all again.
Rainy. Okay. We will. Of course, the daily check on Lou. Okay. Go ahead and get our stamina all the way up. And eat as per usual.
Oh boy. I really miss the taste of food. I was glad to see Rainey in such high spirits. She's grown so bright and energetic, almost unrecognizable from our first meeting. A pity that her child shows no similar signs of development. Rainey used to be much more quiet and withdrawn. She seemed averse to spending time with people. Dolls, too. It was singing and dancing that got her to open up. I'm something of a performer myself, though I've never showed anyone. The Rainbow Valley greenhouses are the product of our researchers' hard work. And thanks to you and me, those invaluable structures will endure for a good while yet.
Sweet. Yeah, that's kind of a common theme that we've kind of encountered in this game, is that babies don't really develop very fast. Which is kind of interesting. But alright, let's get back to it. Man, what a pretty area of the game this is. I love it. Also, kind of something that's a little bit interesting is the plants and stuff aren't affected by timefall, only animals and people.
Sam, your next order requires you to recover an escaped kangaroo, the subject of an important experiment. Seems the bushland area it hopped off to is one where the chiral density is extremely high, meaning you'll need to get it back to the animal shelter ASAP to ensure its safety. This is a ticking clock situation, Sam. I'll brief you on the details while you review your map. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal when you're ready to get underway.
Okay. Take on orders. Deliver the kangaroo to the animal shelter.
Hey Sam, Charlie here. Since this is your first order involving the capture and preservation of animals, allow me to provide additional information. The kangaroo you're looking for is somewhere in this area. Once you've arrived, use your Odra deck to begin searching for the creature. You can transport the kangaroo in your standard issue animal carrier. No need to fabricate anything unique. Get close enough to the kangaroo and deploy the carrier to capture it. It will be a bulky piece of cargo, but you should be able to carry it on your back like any other container. However, you will need to traverse some heavily wooded mountains as well as rivers and uneven terrain. Bear this in mind when considering what equipment to take with you. All right, Time to proceed with route planning and final preparations.
Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. And we will go ahead and set off here. We should actually be able to go all the way up to here. And then...
Delivery route finalized.
Oops. Okay, that's fine for now. Okay, so we have some new equipment to fabricate. How much is this? Or how much does this cannon weigh? 7.2 pounds. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, I think we'll leave everything we have on us right now. We don't need 2 shotguns, though. Blood bags. All that stuff is fine. We'll go ahead and recycle this. And we'll go ahead and recycle these. And how are our boots doing? Okay, 17%. Alright, we're good on that. Got some more APAS enhancements. But we'll go ahead and head out.
Order accepted. Thank you.
I think we have everything we need for now. Alright guys, we are back. So there should be no transition on your end.
Sign, Sam? I think someone might need help. I don't know, perhaps we could lend them a hand if we have time. And when we in turn need assistance, we can always build a sign of our own.
Oh, okay, I see. Alright. Now OBS has had this really cool feature where you can pause a recording, and so I believe that if you pause a recording, there's no like lull.
What in the world?
We have a situation, Sam. I'm tracking a fresh bushfire near the injured kangaroo's location. Clock's ticking. Secure the poor little bugger ASAP and bring the shelter onto the chiral network. Once the DHV Magellan can join you on site, we'll see what we can do about that fire.
Okay. I was gonna go grab a turret right now, but I guess we'll have one on the DHS Magellan here in a little bit. You have 30 minutes to do this. Okay. Now, from the first game, I always did these way faster than necessary. But we definitely want to make sure that we sprint over there ASAP, so that just in case something happens, or like it's harder to capture than we thought, we can do it a little bit easier. Jeez, I guess we better be careful. What the heck? Something's weird. Something weird is going on. That's for sure. Okay, better get up to the high ground here. Oh gosh, look out. How far are we? Oh, only 118 meters away? Oh, jeez. There it is.
Sam, over there! I see the kangaroo! Get close enough to put it in an animal carrier for transport.
Must be placed on Sam's back. Okay. That's easy. What we'll do is we'll just grab our cargo here. And we will drop our floating carrier. And we will just drop everything on our back. And load it onto the carrier. And then we should be able to now grab.
All right, time to make our getaway.
And is that attached? It sure is. Oh man. This is a little scary.
This was marked as a dangerous location on your map, Sam. We could get trapped here by the bushfire. Let's keep moving to ensure that doesn't happen.
I plan on it. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I guess we're good over here, maybe? Oh, that was close. I bet that kangaroo is extremely stressed out right now.
Look out, Sam! Fire! We need to get away from here as quickly as possible.
I'm trying. Oh gosh, let's go down here. But yeah, this voice actor, I actually really like him. There's another. Oh gosh. This is weird. It's some sort of like BT. Maybe not caused fire, but a BT. I don't know. I mean, all I know is that animals are falling. And kind of. You know, whales and stuff are kind of the sign of BTs. Oh gosh. Okay, gotta go down here. Okay, I'm thinking it might have been a good idea to grab that turret, but I think it's okay. For now. Okay, it's over there. This kangaroo is probably real stressed right now. Okay, good, that's not a tall enough angle. Okay, it's over there.
Still not sure how we survived that. Anyway, we have a Cupid to connect, right?
Alright, I think we're good. Now let me just go ahead and draw a route. Just so we kind of have some idea about where we're heading. Okay. Very, very weird. Beautiful. Well, that was not too hard. Alright, Mr. Kangaroo. See, we did that in like less than 7 minutes. 1% damage. Sweet.
You must be Sam. We've heard all about you from your friends at Drawbridge. Go ahead and connect us to the chiral network.
All right. Beautiful. Decoy holo grenade. A grenade that produces a decoy hologram to draw enemy attention must be activated manually once thrown. The hologram produced with will depend on the nearby enemy is doing. Can be stored in the grenade pouch. Cool. All right, got some more firmware.
Thank you, Sam. Don't worry about the fire. Rainey will put it out for us.
Tell me though, who is she exactly?
It's been about 6 months now, since I first heard about the girl who brought the rain.
Whenever I stepped outside, the time fall came. There was nothing that I could do to make it stop. And they hated me for it. Including my parents, who told me to leave. I was the witch who brought the time fall. A monster to be locked up in a cage. A few even tried to burn me alive. The most dedicated witch hunters. I struck out on my own. I was alone for so long. In desperation, I enrolled in a special UCA program. Hoping to find purpose as a mother.
Hi there. You're safe.
But even after I got pregnant, I still couldn't find anyone willing to take me in.
I'm sorry.
No.
We need to leave right now.
Please.
God, get out of here!
No one wanted anything to do with me. All they saw was a witch, to be hated and feared. Until that day. I'm so sorry.
Hey there. You're Rainey, aren't you?
Who's asking?
Someone who's been looking for you. For you and your power.
You want my power? Why?
You're a pharmacon. Medicine that can harm, poison that can heal. It's all in how you use it. Want to come work for me? I believe you can save the world.
You do?
There are things only you can accomplish.
Only me. Really?
Really. My name's Fragile. And I'm happy we could finally meet. I'm here for you. For both of you. I'll be your umbrella. And together we'll show the world the hope in your reign. Come on. We wouldn't want the baby to catch a cold. Come on.
Drawbridge is even more amazing than we'd heard. Thanks to everything you've done for us, the animals are unharmed and the facilities are holding up just fine. It's a wonderful relief. Anyway, I'll check your orders now.
Nice. Very cool.
Kangaroo seems to be in fine spirits. You took good care of it, I can tell.
I don't even know how we got 1% damage. Maybe it was when we stood on the fire. I'm guessing that's what happened. Story of Rainey. Okay. So she does have the ability to stop time fall. Or get the rain that she... I don't know. It's interesting. She's immune to, I guess she's immune to time fall, which is interesting.
I hope you'll continue to work with us.
But okay.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The kangaroo you rescued seems to be alright, thank goodness. Oh, she's so very special to us, and we're relieved to have her back in one piece. Once she's had a bit more time to recuperate, we'll move her to the reserve next door where you can visit anytime you like. By the way, we've uploaded our decoy hologrenade data to the network. You can trigger it remotely once thrown. creating a distraction that'll lure enemies away. It might just save your life if you run afoul of any troublemakers. Well, we first found her in an area with high concentrations of chiralium. How wild animals are affected by prolonged exposure is something we still don't understand completely. But it's thought this may be a key factor in how chiral creatures come into existence. So, you can see why our wee girl would be an invaluable research subject. It's where we look after the animals in our care. The vegetation around here didn't die out like elsewhere, and we still have a reliable water supply. After we screen each animal in our underground facilities, we release them into the reserve and monitor their health over time. When that kangaroo you rescued is strong enough, we'll move her up top where she'll be able to stretch her legs. That being said, changes in the environment can have a profound impact on many species, causing never-before-seen creatures to appear, throwing the ecosystem into chaos. Which is why we strive to preserve native animals here for future generations. Cheers, Sam. You really helped us out. At this rate, we're poised to lose so many native species that predate the Death Stranding. And once they're gone, there's no getting them back. Between the bushfires caused by chiral cinders and animals behaving strangely and getting hurt, it's been pretty bad. But I've heard that these environmental anomalies might be resolved once and for all when Australia is fully linked up. So I've got high expectations for you and your friends. Speaking of which, how would you feel about assisting us with our preservation efforts? It'd be a simple matter of capturing any wild animals you see out on their own and bringing them to us. Even a few would make a real difference. Give it some thought, eh?
Well done, Sam. Return to the DHV Magellan and report to the bridge. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Rainey and her talents.
Absolutely.
Well done.
She's a very, very interesting... She's a very interesting character. And again, it seems like she can reverse time fall. Obviously, she can reverse time fall, and either she summons rain of her own, or she's just immune to time fall, which is interesting. Like as far as like physically immune, but I'm sure we're gonna find out a lot more here right now. Here we go.
When she's outside, Rainey's constantly surrounded by timefall. But within a 1.5 meter radius of her body, a different kind of precipitation is observed. We call it core fall. Anything it touches is restored to an earlier state. In other words, it has the power to heal and repair, to counteract timefall's effects. Sadly, people only see the timefall, and not the remarkable woman standing in the eye of the storm. Still no signs of growth?
I should be due any day now. If things were normal, that is. But the baby's still stuck at 7 months.
She has still baby syndrome. Have you ever heard of it?
I met a few preppers in Mexico that had something like that.
They're not isolated cases. It seems to be happening everywhere. Though who knows if it's a syndrome or a symptom of something else.
Simply put, the fetus stops growing at about 7 months. To be clear, it doesn't die, but it no longer moves, as if it's frozen in time. Several treatments, including C-sections, have been attempted. Unfortunately, removal from the womb invariably results in death. And while not all pregnancies are affected, it's yet another contributing factor to the already low birth rate. The Genetic Diversity Conservation Initiative just isn't enough to compensate.
You got any idea what's causing it?
There's speculation that it's due to an imbalance in the beach itself. I'm sure it's been explained to you before that countless individual beaches exist, a multiverse of beaches, so to speak, and that they are all governed by an upper beach on a higher plane. Expansion of the chiral network to cover the whole UCA may have inadvertently disrupted the link to that beach. Or so they think.
BB units were also 7-month-old fetuses. So it's not hard to believe that the beach might very well influence the unborn.
While I can offer you no concrete answer, I can state that the plan to extend the chiral network into the Australian continent, to take it worldwide, is also intended to help restore balance to the aforementioned upper beach. And in doing so, it is possible that we may resolve the issue of still baby syndrome.
Cool. Yeah, again, the story of this game is so fascinating. Again, Hideo Kojima is just an excellent, excellent writer. Again, as I mentioned before in one of the previous episodes, you know, this is one of the first games that both Death Stranding 1 and Death Stranding 2 is one of the first games I've played that, you know, I care about every character that we encounter. And so
impeccable taste, Sam. Outstanding. Sam, been a while since you had a proper shower, wouldn't you say? I was looking into the conditions that led to the bushfire we escaped. It seemed to have been caused by a phenomenon known as chiral cinders. Unlike other items washed up by the currents, cinders violently erupt from the tar and soar through the sky before crashing to the ground. This phenomenon has been observed across the continent and has led to an increase in bushfires. It's one more potential threat to keep an eye out for. Ever wanted to learn more about the various creatures housed at the animal shelter, Sam? Well, there's a speaker outside the facility that they use to broadcast updates. Might be good to check in on some of the animals we've taken there once in a while. I'm so glad that we were able to save that kangaroo's life. It's easy to forget that humans aren't the only creatures affected by the Death Stranding. Protecting our remaining wildlife isn't just the right thing to do. It can also help us to better understand how the environment has changed. Rainey was a vision to behold. To put out that fire so effortlessly. Her powers are incredible, don't you think? The kangaroo you rescued is currently being cared for and studied at the animal shelter. You know, if you ever want to stop by and see how it's doing, I wouldn't object. Are you curious how I maintain my youthful appearance? It's because Rainey lets me shower in her core fall from time to time.
Okay. We'll go ahead and continue on here in just a second. Just wanted to do a little bit more customization here. There we go. Now we have our matching aesthetic going. And BB, let's do yeah, we'll do that one. And then over here we'll do that. Oh yeah. Now we're looking like my favorite aesthetic. Ooh. Let's take a look at what she said. I made it rain at a few facilities I visited with Drawbridge, and we are already standing to see the results. Now I want to bring the rain to a lot more places. Even a little bit helps. Here's to bringing nature back to life. That's so cool. Oh, there's the kangaroo we rescued. Monorail's back in business. Amazing. All right, let's go ahead and head back to the surface. Whoa. Now that looks like Mexico. Oh yeah. I remember. We need to... Let's see. Orders. Cargo management. Oh, there we go.
Please select a destination.
Okay. Destination that Tarman has deemed to be safe are marked with a icon. Select a destination and press X to move the DHV Magellan there. Okay, let's go ahead and head over to... here. Alright, now we can go and see that next order. It seems an order has been issued to deliver cargo from the animal shelter to my place. What's odd is that the order came from my shelter, but shouldn't be anyone there right now, unless someone's broken in. I have a bad feeling about it. If it's not too much trouble, could you head to the animal shelter and see if you can find out what's going on? At some point.
Very impressive work, Sam.
Alright. Let's see where we need to head now. Deliver all aid packages to the Northern Environmental Observatory. Holy cow. Okay.
Sam, it's Charlie. I'm pleased to inform you that you can now use the map on your ring terminal to check the weather forecast. We utilize information provided by Rainey, as well as local historical data to make predictions. Take them into consideration when plotting your routes.
Okay.